The rain set in, and the sun only made brief appearances. The hills turned a lush green. Ferns sprang upon walls and tree trunks. Giant lilies reared like leopards from the tall grass. A white mist coiled and uncoiled as it floated up from the valley. It was a beautiful season, except for the leeches. Every day, Binya came home with a couple of leeches fastened to the flesh of her bare legs. They fell off by themselves as soon as they had had their thimble full of blood. But you didn't know they were on you until they fell off, and then later the skin became very sore and itchy. Some of the older people still believed that to be bled by leeches was a remedy for various ailments. Whenever Ram Bharosa had a headache, he applied a leech to his throbbing temple. 3 days of incessant rain had flooded out a number of small animals who lived in holes in the ground. Binya's mother suddenly found the roof full of field rats. She had to drive them out. They ate too much of her stored up wheat flour and rice. Biju liked lifting up large rocks to disturb the scorpions who were sleeping beneath, and snakes came out to bask in the sun. Binya had just crossed a small stream at the bottom of the hill when she saw something gliding out of the bushes and coming towards her. It was a long black snake. A clatter of loose stones frightened it. Seeing the girl in its way, it rose up hissing, preparing to strike. The forked tongue darted out. The venomous head lunged at Binya. Binya's umbrella was open as usual. She thrust it forward between herself and the snake, and the snake's hard snout thudded twice against the strong silk of the umbrella. The reptile then turned and slithered away over the wet rocks, disappearing in a clump of ferns. Binya forgot about the cows and ran all the way home to tell her mother how she had been saved by the umbrella. Biju had to put away his books and go out to fetch the cows. He carried a stout stick in case he met with any snakes. First the summer sun and now the endless rain meant that the umbrella was beginning to fade a little. From a bright blue it had changed to a light blue, but it was still a pretty thing and tougher than it looked, and Ram Bharosa still desired it. He did not want to sell it, he wanted to own it. He was probably the richest man in the area, so why shouldn't he have a blue umbrella? Not a day passed without his getting a glimpse of Binya and the umbrella, and the more he saw the umbrella, the more he wanted it. The schools closed during the monsoon, but this didn't mean that Biju could sit at home doing nothing. Neelu and Gori were providing more milk than was required at home. So, Binya's mother was able to sell a kilo of milk every day, half a kilo to the schoolmaster and half a kilo to the temple pujari. Biju had to deliver the milk every morning. Ram Bharosa had asked Biju to work in his shop during the holidays, but Biju didn't have time. He had to help his mother with the ploughing and the transplanting of the rice seedlings. So, Ram Bharosa employed a boy from the next village, a boy called Rajaram. He did all the washing up and ran various errands. He went to the same school as Biju, but the two boys were not friends. One day, as Binya passed the shop twirling her blue umbrella, Rajaram noticed that his employer gave a deep sigh and began muttering to himself. "What's the matter, Babuji?" asked the boy. "Oh, nothing," said Ram Bharosa. "It's just a sickness that has come upon me, and it's all due to that girl Binya and her wretched umbrella." Why? What has she done to you? Refused to sell me her umbrella. There's pride for you, and I offered her 10 rupees. Perhaps if you gave her 12. But it isn't new any longer. It isn't worth 8 rupees now. All the same, I'd like to have it. You wouldn't make a profit on it, said Raja Ram. It's not the profit I am after, wretch. It's the thing itself. It's the beauty of it. And what would you do with it, Babuji? You don't visit anyone. You are seldom out of your shop. Of what use would it be to you? Of what use is a poppy in a cornfield? Of what use is a rainbow? Of what use are you, numbskull? Wretch, I too have a soul. I want the umbrella because I want its beauty to be mine. Rajaram put the kettle on to boil, began dusting the counter, all the time muttering, I am as useful as an umbrella. And then, after a short period of intense thought, he said, What will you give me, Babuji, if I get the umbrella for you? What do you mean? Asked the old man. You know what I mean. What will you give me? You mean to steal it, don't you? You wretch? What a delightful child you are. I am glad you are not my son or my enemy. But look, everyone will know it has been stolen, and then how will I be able to show off with it? You will have to gaze upon it in secret, said Rajaram with a chuckle, or take it into Tehri and have it colored red. That's your problem. But tell me, Babuji, do you want it badly enough to pay me 3 rupees for stealing it without being seen? Ram Bharosa gave the boy a long, sad look. You are a sharp boy, he said. You'll come to a bad end. I'll give you 2 rupees. 3, said the boy. 2, said the old man. You don't really want it. I can see that, said the boy. Wretch, said the old man. Evil one, darkener of my doorstep. Fetch me the umbrella and I'll give you 3 rupees.